Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Megan, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler V Series V's I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm slightly excited and nervous for this one, so we'll get to it. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not the case in this instance. I got this item maybe a week ago. Something like that. I happened to be out and about. I was doing a little shopping in an area, and I decided to stop in a comic book store. Because I like comic books. I'm a nerd like that. And I'm a nerd like a lot of things, realistically. But after going to said shop, they, just a few stores down, they actually had a little Indian marketplace. And I love going to Indian marketplaces because, you can just find some really cool stuff. And typically, the people are super duper nice. I don't think I've ever had a bad experience in a Indian marketplace. And so I went over there and I'm looking around, and I don't know much about what's going on with the different foods and stuff, but I look for snacks and things that I can just do for reviews. So I found this and I was like, okay. So what am I reviewing for you today? What are we doing here? Boom, it's this. It is Jeeru apple juice based fizzy masala drink, and it says that it's export quality. So does that mean it's not an actual export product? Was it created here domestically in the United States to be based off of the product? I don't know. Everything, all the addresses and everything appear to be very Indian. Net quantity 300 milliliters for batch. I don't know, man. So I'm not exactly sure what that whole thing refers to, but I'm just gonna go with it. Carbonated natural. Anyway, so yeah, 10 grams of sugar, product of India. I'm going with that then. The thing about this that makes me both excited and nervous is the masala aspect. Because the thing is, I've reviewed other Indian sodas here on this channel. I've also tried them just by them, just my own, in my own life. They can be interesting. And masala tends to be like a spice blend kind of thing, a blend of spices. So, let's try some spicy apple soda. Or spiced apple soda, I suppose would be a better way to put that. Zodic? Yeah, we're going to go with Zodic. Sure. Oh, that smells unusual. Let's give it a go. Oh, my. Ooh. Yeah, this is... I love India. I think you have some of the best food on the entire planet. Some extremely nice people. Some of the most beautiful women in the whole fucking world. When it comes to your soft drinks, it is so extremely hit or miss. I recently reviewed some Indian Fanta, and that was really cool and interesting. But man, these spiced sodas, they are just so weird, and it tastes like I'm drinking a condiment. I took a big old swig of, Worcestershire sauce or something like that. I feel like I should marinate meat with this, not just drink it as a thing. Oh, okay. Oh, man. How to describe? Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, okay. Is there an apple aspect? Yes. Is it particularly prominent? No. It is mostly the spiced aspect that makes up the bulk sum of the flavor that's going on. There is like a brief moment where there is a hint of apple, and the rest is just the masala like spice thing. And it begs mentioning, and I actually only recently learned this. Like masala, as far as I understand, and I could be completely idiotic American douchebag. I like to think I'm not a douchebag. There's probably people who debate that, but masala isn't like a specific spice blend. It's just it basically just means like blended spices. It's like just that term for it. So it can be like any number of stuff. Again, if that's what I got correct. Man, it's just I wish I could say I was in love with this. I'm not. I was hoping that what this would be a nice, strong apple soda with kind of like a hint of, some masala spices. Just to give it a little something something. Instead, it's like the opposite. It's more like a strong masala soda with just kind of a hint of apple. And boy, oh boy, if you're not into that masala stuff. It's just, and again, I think on food and stuff like that, I think it's brilliant. As a drink, though, it's just so bizarre. It's because it's like, it's almost savory. And again, it feels like something that I could go over there and put on a steak, and just like, give it that umami flavor. Ah, it's not spicy. Let me emphasize that. It's not spicy. A lot of people think Indian food, you think spicy. Not all Indian food is spicy, of course. They have very, very flavorful food. And of course, they're, kind of famous for the spicy stuff. But when I say spiced, I'm not talking spicy. Instead, what it is it's, again, almost like a sour, savory kind of flavor with a hint of apple. It's very bizarre. And not particularly enjoyable for me. And I feel I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like dickbag McAmerican guy who's like, burr, 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 I only like cheeseburgers. I mean, I love cheeseburgers, but whenever I try like international stuff, I always do my best to try to give it as fair a shake as possible because, it's cool. I love experiencing this stuff. But I can't quite give it to this one, man. It's just too weird. It's too far off what I'm used to in a soft drink. There's really no sweetness to it. It's just, again, it tastes like you're drinking a condiment, and I can't. Two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? No. And, sure-ish. So, for me personally, that's a no dog. That's, sorry, man. I cannot get along with the stuff. Like, again, this isn't the first one that I've had where it's been like this. I don't get it, man. It's just too unusual for me. As like a seasoning or something, it would probably be delicious, but as a thing to just drink, it's just not for me. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish I was down with it, but no. If I'm recommending it, though, it's one of those ones that's honestly hard to say I at least recommend you try it. Because I think that realistically, if you are more used to that Western palate, if you're from the United States, maybe not from Britain, since I know they have a lot of, experience with like Indian food and everything like that. So maybe it would be more palatable there. But if you have especially kind of like, that United States Western palate, I don't see too many people really being down with this. It's just so far removed from what we're used to. And let me emphasize, it's not that it's bad in terms of quality or anything. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not actually that good of a drink even in India. I don't know. But it's too off-putting for, so it's hard for me to say, at least give it a shot. Yeah, I will say this, if you're adventurous and you want an experience, give it a shot. I don't know if you'll like it, but I don't know that you won't like it either. I just think this is one of those cultural things where, I just don't think it's quite crosses over quite, But anyway, 5 things for you out here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there and have yourselves a truly Indian food-tastic rest of your life, because again, Indian food is some of the best food on the planet. And it's one of those things where it's like, Indian food just stands alone. Genuinely. It's if you've never, I need to review more Indian food. I've reviewed a little bit here on the channel, but I don't have a lot of really, really good Indian places near me, unfortunately. But we'll get around to it eventually. Anyway, final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. Is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. Try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Hopefully in this video I have not been too much of an asshole to the fine folks of India and their beverages, because, you know, I don't want to come off like that. But at the same time, I gotta be honest. I wish I liked the drink. I don't like the drink. I always liking stuff. That's especially when I was younger. I've mellowed as I've gotten older, but like, I definitely had a reputation amongst my friends for being a little bit of an asshole and a little bit grumpy about things when it came to, you know, like, I'm very critical about stuff, which works for this format, to be fair. But, you know, I like to think as I've gotten older, I've become a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more forgiving when it comes to certain things. I try to wrap my head around a little bit more. Just can't quite wrap my head around this one. But anyway, when we deal with things in our lives that are stressful, frustrating, etc., take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe there is like some masala soda that you're personally familiar with that you could recommend to me. Maybe one that's a little bit more mild on the masala aspect. I'd love to try it, genuinely. You know, that's the thing. Like, part of the reason why the first time I ever had an Indian soda, it was like this. It was one of those things where it was way too much of it. And that could have put me off, but I'm a crazy person, and I'm just going to keep trying stuff. You know, I'll just keep giving stuff a go. And so that's basically what I did. And, you know, I've found some ones that I liked and found some ones that I didn't. But if you've got one, like I said, you know, that you're partial to or you just think would be interesting for me to try, I'll see if I can get my hands on it. Or conversely, again, hopefully the fine people of India, and to be fair, I do have a certain amount of an Indian audience, according to my my YouTube statistics. I think that's almost entirely, if not entirely, because I uploaded some Bloodywood videos from concerts that I've been to, and I should have worn my Bloodywood shirt. Damn it! Oh well. But I really like Bloodywood. They're an Indian band. Go watch those videos too. Anyway, bye!